everyone, it's Roisin Anson, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the craft books that I've either read or want to read or I'm going to read, that kind of thing. So first we'll go through the craft books that I've actually read. I've read, no surprise, Save the Cat Writes a Novel by Jessica Brody. I love this book. I have got page flags. I think that was where I was when I was last going through the book. I've got this book on paperback and I have it on audio as well. What I really like about this book is she's got books that, or movies or anything like that, that I've actually heard of. Some of the books that I've read, you don't really see how she's explained, like they've explained it, so they'll say something and then show you an example in a book that you've never heard of, or at least I've never heard of it or anything like that. She's got like the Wizard of Oz. So yeah, I haven't read this book in a while, but I have really enjoyed it. Sorry, I've got a dog on my lap. Started crying. This is Whisper, this is my dog. So this is a good book. I like this bit. Can you see that? Where it tells you the percentage of what each beat is supposed to be, or where it's supposed to be, and how in depth it is at explaining what each beat is. So like the opening image, 0 to 1%, a before snapshot of your hero and their world, so you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing and when you're supposed to be hitting it and all that sort of stuff, which I definitely like, because it just means that you know where it's expected of it to be. I did instinctively do that. I read this after I'd finished my novel. I'd already written my novel before reading this, but I had instinctively done some of the stuff, but some of the stuff I hadn't done, so I obviously added that in. But it's definitely a good book to read either before or after. I use this as edits as well, just so that you know where everything's hitting, if you've got all of the beats in there, if they're all doing the right job that they're supposed to be doing, that sort of stuff. This is a great book for that. Another book that I've got and kind of read, I haven't read all of it, is The Emotion Thesaurus, A Writer's Guide to Character Expression by Angela Ackerman and Becca Plugley. I'm sorry if I'm saying these wrong, but this book, I really like this because my vocal, like my dictionary or that kind of stuff, my actual words that I know isn't that great, and I like to, with writing obviously you can't say the same thing over and over again, it gets really repetitive, but in this it shows you different ways to explain an emotion, which I really struggle with. So for loneliness, it's got the definition, the physical signs and behaviours that loneliness present, internal sensations, mental responses, acute or long-term responses for this emotion, signs that the emotion is being suppressed, may escalate to, may de-escalate to, associated power words, and then there's writer's tips, and that's for every emotion in here. Table of content. So they've got all of these there's another page. And all of this emotions, and they're alphabetized, so if you know kind of what you're looking for, you can go to that page, and it's just really easy to not repeat the same word because you've got a book in this thesaurus that does all of them, and they're actually a series, so they've got more than just the emotions, just more. And they've got more than the emotional thesaurus. They've got quite a few which I want to buy. I just got the emotions one first because that's what I really struggle with, and I'm getting all of them in the series because it's just so easy, and you don't have to think about the right word. All you've got to do is think of what you're actually looking for. Like, I wanted to do another word for regret. Agonising. These are physical signs. Yeah, so you can, instead of just saying that you regret, they are regretful, they're thinking, you can actually show it instead of telling them, which is a good thing to do, like the show don't tell. So you can show that they're regretful, the bent posture across the arms over the stomach, agonising, eyebrows pinched in. These are all for regret. These are just the physical signs. You can do a lot of internal sensations if you're writing first person. Instead of telling them that they're regretful, again, you can do some internal sensations. So like for me, it'd be Alexa's stomach was in knots for regretful. So mental responses is self-loathing, obsession with the person or event associated with the regret. All of those stuff you can show instead of telling, just pages of telling it. You can actually show it with this, which is why I really recommend getting this kind of a book, or these, having a look at these books in the series, because there's more than just, as I said, the emotions. I don't actually know all of them, but a lot of them are urban settings, city settings. I know they've got a lot of those Thesaurus ones, or they've got each of those, and there's more in that. It's just a really good book for show don't tell. Another book that I've read is on my iPad, because I've got some that I've got the printout books for, the paperback books, so I've got just the Kindle. So another book that I've actually read is Writing Screenplay That Sells, by Michael Hugh. Again, not sure if I'm saying that name right. It was recommended on Sarah Cannon's Plot Your Novel. The books that she recommended and she drew from this was one of them. So I read that. It was a good book. I don't really remember it. It has been quite a while since I've read it. I think you need to... This obviously is for screenwriting as well. It's not actually for novels, but you use the same kind of plots and story structure and that kind of thing. So that's mainly what I used it for then, learning how to screenwrite, because obviously that's not what I'm trying to do. But it was a good book. I don't really remember too much of it. I need to reread it again. Subheadings for all of them is the goal of the screenwriter, story concept, character development, theme and character arcs, structure, scene writing, exception to the rule, the analysis of avatar, and then marketing yourself as a screenwriter, which I skipped because I didn't really need to do that, and I skipped the screenwriting chapter. So realistically, I did read the goal of a screenwriter, because obviously you're kind of doing the same thing as a writer. Your goal is the same, to have an engaging reader or watcher. So I did read the goal of the screenwriter, the story concept I read, character development I read, theme and arc, and structure I read. I think I skipped most of the rest of it though. But yeah, that was a good book as far from what I can remember. That was the first book that I read. So now we'll get on to the books that I haven't read or have partially read. I've partially read Intuitive Editing by Tafini Yates Martin. I think I'm about 50 to 60% of the way through this book, and I've got this book as paperback and as audio, so I was listening to it on walks. it's a good book from what I've read so far. It's really good at showing you obviously how to edit, and it goes through lots of the main parts of editing, so like the how to edit characters, stake, plot, suspense and tension, the point of view, making sure the point of view is cohesive all the way through, and it has a chapter on show don't tell as well. Structure, momentum, pace, voice, and then it goes on to line editing, getting feedback, how to go through hiring an editor, because this is a book on self-editing your book. It's not a book to become an editor, so you'd still need to go and get it professionally edited, but this is a good book to do for self-editing. I had no idea what to do on editing, and for me, I had a really big problem of not listening to my own gut about what I needed to change. So for a while I knew I needed to take characters out, but I didn't at the same time. I kept on going backwards and forwards and asking people if they thought it was too many, and then thinking, when they said no, I was thinking, well, it does actually. And I knew in myself that I needed to take these characters out, but I was just resistant to it, and I wasn't trusting myself to know that that was the right call. So this book helped me realise that in my writer brain, I knew that I had to take these characters out, and I knew what I needed to do before I actually made the plan to do that. Does that make sense? So I knew what I needed to do, but I wasn't trusting myself to do it. So this book actually really helped me to just do it, because I've got the copy of the book, the manuscript with the characters still in it. So I can always go back to it, but I definitely, from what I've read so far, enjoy having the characters out. They don't need to be in this book so far. They need to come in later, and I can develop them more in the later book. In this book, I didn't have enough time to develop every character. Even some of the characters I haven't developed that much. I need to zone in on the characters and develop them more, but this has helped with trusting myself and knowing that I need to just go with my writer brain and cut what I think I need to, even if everybody around me saying no, you don't need to. I did. So yeah, the tagline is editing your own writing can feel like you're doing your own brain surgery, which it can. But yeah, definitely pick up this book. It is very good from what I've read so far, and like I said, I have read most of it. I can't imagine that I'm too far from finishing, really. I reckon I'm probably about, I don't think I'm 50 or 60, I think I'm like 70 to 80% of the way done. So yeah, definitely pick up that book. Another book that I've got is Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes. This is a really small book. Okay, so it's about 76 pages to 80, about 70 to 90 pages, and a lot of people really like this book. A lot of people have used this a lot for obviously the romantic part of the beat treat, which I'm not that great at. I don't actually write romance, but there is a romance in my fantasy, and eventually I would like to get into romance, or at least have the option to get into romance reading. So this is a good book that I'm going to start soon, and it shouldn't take me too long to get through, so I'm happy about that. It'll probably be one that I do in one sitting. Another book I've got on my craft TBR is The Heroine's Journey by Gail Crager. Again, not sure if I'm saying any of these names right. I'm sorry if I'm not. Somebody recommended this to me. I do need to pick up The Hero's Journey as well, because apparently, I didn't know this, but just because it says the heroine journey or the hero journey doesn't mean that it's female or male respectively. That's the journey. Does that make sense? Just because it says heroine's journey doesn't mean it's a female's journey, and vice versa for hero and male. I think it's based on the actual journey and what kind of structure and what you've actually included in how they are personality wise type thing. I'm not actually sure what this book is about, obviously. I haven't read it, so I'll keep you updated on how I'm getting on with all these books anyway. But this is one that I think is going to be really informative about how to get the character from one place to another, the journey. And I need to get the hero's journey as well as the heroine's journey, so that's on my wish list to get. I just need to figure out who actually wrote the hero's journey, or what's the best one to read. Like, who is the best author that wrote the hero's journey, because there was quite a few when I had a look, so I wasn't sure who's to pick up. So I need to ask. I can't remember who recommended this to me, but I might put it on like a Discord, on the Discord for craft books that I'm in, and see if they know the hero's journey, the actual author for the right one, or the best, or one that people the most raved about kind of one. I don't think I need to explain this one, but Stephen King's On Writing. I haven't read it. I'm planning to. I don't think there's much. A lot of people have already read this book, and I've gotten a lot of good reviews on this book. I haven't read it yet, so TBR, it'll get to it. Right, and now we get on to the ebooks that I've got. So, actually, before I move on, I have ordered Save the Cat Writes a Young Adult Novel by Jessica Brody. It's the sequel to this book. I've ordered it. It's coming in paperback, and again, don't know anything about it, but I'm excited to read that. That's probably going to be really high on my TBR list because I'm so excited. I think somebody said, I think it was Kate Kavanagh said, that it's really good for writing a series. They've got quite a lot in the back, like the later part of the book, about writing a series and using the beat sheet and stuff for the series as a whole, which I'm really excited about. So I've got my hands on that, or I will be getting my hands on that. I have ordered it. Some of the other books I've got is K.M. Weiling, Outlining Your Novel, Structuring Your Novel, and Character Arcs. No, Creating Character Arcs. These are all by K.M. Weiling. I'm really excited to read the Character Arcs book and Outlining Your Novel. I haven't read them yet. Like I said, all of these books I haven't read, so I'm excited that. I think I'm missing a couple in the series though. I need to pick up some of those, but definitely looking forward to reading that. There is another book, How to Write a Page Turner by Jordan Rosenfeld. That's this book. I think this title speaks for itself. The Plot Dot by Derek Murphy. Writing Deep Scenes by Martha Alden and Jordan Rosenfeld. Goal Motivation Conflict by Deborah Dixon, which I think I've read a little bit of, but I haven't read all of. James Scott Bell's Write Your Novel from the Middle, How to Write Dazzling Dialogue, and then Superstructure by James Scott Bell. All three of those I've got. I haven't read any yet. Story Structure by Jack M. Beckham I've got, that I haven't read. And then I've got some sample books of books that I want to pick up, so they're on my wish list. So Plot and Structure by James Scott Bell I want to get. Outline Your Novel, Story Pitch, and The 5-Day Novel by Scott King I want to get. Newsletter Ninja by Lamy LeBlanc. I'm not exactly sure how to say that, I'm sorry. But that's the Newsletter Ninja that I want to get. And then the Atomy of a Story, 22 Steps to Becoming a Master Storyteller by John Truby I want to get as well. So they're all the books I've got and are on my wish list. Again, I want to get all of the books in this series as well, and I'm going to get them as paperbacks because they're good to just have next to me while I'm writing or editing, just to flip through. So they're all my craft books. I will keep you updated on when I've read a craft book and what I liked about it. I probably will do it on my Instagram now, so I'll pop up here, and if not, it's in my description of my about section on YouTube, so you can find that over there. And then that'll be where I update with all of my craft books that I've read and what I think of each of the books that I've read. So that's where I'll be updating these craft books probably, unless I get a lot of comments about how I'm getting on with all these books on craft, and I'll do an updated video on YouTube, but I can't imagine that I'll get that much. And if you have any suggestions on books, please feel free to leave them in the comments and I will add them to my wish list and TBR. So that's it for today's video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and enjoy this journey that I'm on to be a self-published author. My next video will be plotting book 2 of Project Wolf. If you've got any video ideas or recommend or book videos you want to see, please feel free to comment them also down below, and I will have a look into making those as well. Thank you for watching the video. Please, as I said, like and subscribe down below. It helps a lot, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.